Let's see how he's using his toolkit.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, the chunking method has got a bit of a funny name, but it's very useful, and we're going to learn it today. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. We are going to learn to divide very large numbers using the chunking method and using the long division method. Okay, and I'll teach you guys, I'll break it down and make it really simple to go through it today. And also we've got a scribble pad now so I can annotate the slides to make it easier for you to understand. So just to warm up, I want you guys to go through these questions and quickly solve them. And who can do the last one? Good, I'm glad all of you can do it. Okay, so someone tell me what it is.
72.
Perfect. Okay, I'm really glad that you guys are strong in your multiplication because that's going to help you a lot today. Because whenever we think about division, we're also always thinking about multiplication. They go hand in hand. So this will just go through them. So those are your answers. So the chunking method. Can everyone read that? Okay. Mint, do you have a question?
No.
Yeah, so who can read out the first line for me? Yeah, everybody go ahead.
The chunking method is a way of dividing large numbers by repeatedly subtracting the numbers you are dividing by.
Yeah, exactly. So we are repeatedly subtracting the number that we divide by. That is the chunking method. Okay, and then that will help you break down larger numbers. Lucky, can you read the second line for me? The second bullet point, can you read it?
Yes. You will need to have a strong understanding of multiplication and division.
Yes, exactly. You know, strong understanding of multiplication and division, and that's why we did the warm-up, because that's to get you guys thinking about multiplication and division, because they always go hand in hand. So this is an example of the chunking method. So, as you see, the question that we have is 36 times 6. Oh, sorry, divided by 6. And the way that we do that is we subtract 6 from 36 repeatedly until we get down to 0. Okay, so you can see we start at 36, minus 6 gives us 30. And you can see on the left-hand side, we make notes of what we do. So we subtracted 6 to get 30. We subtract 6 again to get 24. We subtract 6 again to get 18. Subtract 6 again to get 12. And then we do 2 more times to get 0. So if I asked you what's 6 times 6, what would you say? Radha, tell me.
36.
6 times 6 is 36. So if 6 times 6 is 36, then we also know 36 divided by 6 is what? Yeah, Mittu?
36 divided by 6 equal to 6.
Exactly. And the way that we can show that is the chunking method, because that just means that 6 lots of 6 can be taken away to get to 0. So this is the method that we're going to be using, called the chunking method, okay? Now, who can tell me what happens if a number isn't exactly divisible by another number? Who might know? Yeah, Radha?
You will have a reminder.
We will have a remainder, exactly. So that's the next part. This is chunking method with remainders. Can you see that? So as we go, the question that we have is 59 divided by 4. How many 4s go into 59? Now the way that we think about it is exactly the same. But this time, can you see what they've done here? They've done 10 times 4 is equal to 40. Who can tell me why they've done that? Akshara, can you tell me?
Yeah, because the first step is do 10 times 4 because it actually fits in there. So it's the first thing you can think about when you see this type of calculation.
Exactly. It's like a shortcut, guys. Remember, because if we did it for this example here, if we did it here, we could do 6 times 6 straight away and get down to 0. So because there's a remainder here, we can't get it down to 0 straight away. So we have to break down the problem into chunks that we understand. So you know 10 times 4 is going to be equal to 40. And you can take that away to get you 19. And then you can either do like this. Hold on, let me just annotate. So we know that we could do something like this. We could do, because it's 19, we could do 19 minus 4. Who can tell me what 19 minus 4 is? Yeah, Neil?
5.
19 minus 4.
15.
15. Yeah, and then minus 4 again. Next one, who can tell me? Lucky?
11.
11. Yeah. And then minus 4 again. Akshara?
11 minus 4 is a 7.
7. Good job. Minus 4 again, who can tell me? Yeah, Radha, go ahead.
3.
3. Okay, so what happens when we get to 3? Sorry, Neil, tell me. That's the remainder, exactly. So we can see we've taken 10 lots away here. And then also we've taken 1, 2, 3, 4 more lots of 4 away from 19. So then we know that it's going to be 10. Oh, going to be 10 plus 4, which is equal to 14. And then remainder 3. So remainder 3, like it says above here. But the method that we use to do that when the numbers are more complicated is the chunking method. Okay? Who has questions so far? Who doesn't understand? Lucky, you have a question? Akshara, you have a question?
Can we use chunking method for like easy divisions as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like
Or
what kind of
shall we use
division
the
do you have in
long
mind?
division?
Pardon?
Should we use the chunking method or the long division?
Well, this is what we're going to come on to. So for the chunking method, we normally use the chunking method when the numbers are a bit smaller. Radha, do you have a question?
I have a question. If, as you said, there were, you have to add 10 and 4 because you did 4 lots.
Yeah.
Would you have to do that with every number? So if it's like 6 lots, then you have to add 10 to make 16 and whatever the remainder is.
Well, if the numbers work that way, but remember, we only added 10 because we've already taken 10 lots away, and then we just took another 4 lots away. So it could be, you know, you could take 7 lots away and then 3 lots away, and you just add them together. It doesn't matter. What matters is you just need to keep track of how many lots of 4 you're taking away, because we're dividing by 4. So if we were dividing by 6, what do we have to keep track of? So if I said to you it was 59 divided by 6, what numbers are we keeping track of? Does anyone know? Lucky, do you know?
10 times 5.
So for example, so when we look at the question above, it's 59 divided by 4. Okay, so we keep track of how many lots of 4 we take away. So if I said to you 59 divided by 6, we're keeping track of how many lots of
4.
no 59 divided by 6. Akshara?
I think it's 9.
So let's do it together. Let's do it together now. Okay. So we know 59 on the top. Let's start like this. 59 here. What's the first step?
Take away 6.
Okay. Take away 6. What's that?
53.
Neil? Oh, yeah, 53. Neil, can you do the next one for me?
Yep, sure.
So minus 6.
49.
Not quite. So
42. 42.
no. 53 minus 6. So think about it like 47. Yeah, because it's 53 minus 3 and minus 3 again. So it's 47. If you have an answer, don't shout out, put your hand up, okay? So, who knows the next one? Akshara?
41.
Perfect. And the next one? Lucky?
34.
Not quite. So 41 minus 6. Neil?
5.
35. Perfect. Okay. Mittu, can you do the next one for me? We've got 35, take away 6. So think about it. So it's 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, and then take away one more.
30.
30 minus 1. What's that?
29.
29. Perfect. That's it. So that's your answer. So we know the next step is 29. Okay, and then next step, who can do that? Radha, can you tell me?
23.
Yeah, perfect. And then who can do the next one? Akshara?
17.
17, perfect. So actually, guys, because we're running out board, I'm just going to carry it on up here. So we've got 17. So minus 6. Who knows 17 minus 6? Lucky?
11.
17 minus 6, are you sure?
Yeah.
What's the answer?
11.
Good job. All right, and then minus 6 again. Akshara?
5.
5. Good job. Now, here we are. What do we do now? Rada, can you tell me? Can't hear you. Can you say that again?
5 will be a reminder.
5 is our remainder. Okay, so if 5 is our remainder, who can tell me what our answer is? What is this question now? So 59 divided by 6 is equal to what? Who can tell me? Akshara, you look like you know.
9 remainder 5.
All right, so let's double check your answer. So how can we double check?
So each lot is counted as 1, so we need to count how many lots there are in total.
Okay, so let's count together. So that's 1, 2, 3,
4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So our answer is 9 remainder 5. Okay, or 9 R 5. Okay, who has questions about what we just did? Does everyone follow what we just did? Neil, you have a question?
Yes.
Tell me.
You know when you do the chunking method,
Yeah.
how much layers you done, like how you did right now? 1, 2, and then that would be the answer, and then the remainder.
Yeah. What? Sorry. Ask me the question again.
So basically, do you count the numbers that the methods to like?
Yeah. Exactly like that. Because remember, let's go back to what the chunking method is. What did I tell you the chunking method was? So let's clear this. No, yeah, let's clear these drawings. Let's go to here. Okay. So I said to you, the chunking method is a way of dividing large numbers by repeatedly subtracting the number you are dividing by. So in here, we have repeatedly subtracted 6 because we're dividing by 6. So all you need to do to get the answer is count how many times you subtract 6, because that's the number we're dividing by.
Okay.
And that's the answer.
Okay.
So this question here is going to be equal to 6 because we did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see now?
Yes.
Okay, who else has a question?
Thank you, sir.
It's okay. We happy to move on? Okay. So these are some questions. You can go through them now. The ones on the left do not have remainders. So the ones on the left, see 60 divided by 5, 42 divided by 7, they will go down to 0 easily. And
class. So today, like I already told you guys, we're going to practice multiple meanings questions. We're going to practice odd one out questions. And we are going to address any questions or concerns that you guys might have about the exam so far. So I want you guys, I'm going to give you 20 seconds to have a look at these pictures. And I want you to see if you can come up with what these pictures have in common. Written the same way, but they don't mean the same thing. So let's have a look. A blood-sucking bat, that's like a flying bat, versus a cricket bat, like a bat you use to play cricket. Or to lie down versus Pinocchio tells a lie. A blazing row, that's like a big argument, or I can row a boat. So this is the idea of homonyms, but today we're actually not focusing on homonyms. We are focusing on the way that words can have multiple meanings. So even though it can be written the same way, it can be multiple meanings and can mean different things. So we're going to see this in just a second, guys. That fits into this, fits into all three of the categories. So close, so near, adjacent, and nearby all mean like they're near to you. Close also means it's near to you. Make sense? We're good for that one? Okay, next one. Shut, secure, and zip up all mean to close something, to shut it. So if I close a bag, I'm maybe shutting my bag. So close fits in. Number 3, we've got street, cul-de-sac, and lane. And another kind of road is a close. So you can live on, for example, Derwent Close, in the same way as you can live on Derwent Lane, Derwent Street. Does that make sense? We following it? So this word fits into all three. So the right word, the word that you'd be looking for, is close. And the answer you would give to this question would be D. Got it? Okay, we're going to move on because we've only got a little bit of time. I was going to put you guys into breakout groups for this, but I actually think that I'm going to just put this to the class because I think we can do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all 5 minutes to go away and have a look at these questions and see if you can work out what the answer is. Let's see how we can do it. I don't want you to tell me just yet. That's right. And we know that view fits in with notice and see. But does view fit in with blemish and mole?
No.
Okay, so it can't be view because the word that we picked from here has to fit in with all of them. Okay, Neil, what do we think the answer might be?
Advert.
Okay, advert. Does advert fit in with blemish and mole? Is like advert the same kind of thing as a mole, like one of those spots on your face?
Oh.
I don't think so. Okay, let's hear from, I think Naga is desperate to give us the answer. So go on, Naga.
Spot.
Spot. And why is it spot, Naga?
Because when you notice and see, you spot something, and blemish and mole are some kind of spots. On your...
So, that Naga has got it absolutely right, but does everybody understand how spot fits in with all of these words?
Excuse me, what is blemish?
A blemish is like a little mark on your skin.
I don't understand.
Okay, so Radha and Neil, because I think Neil's looking very confused as well, which is okay. We'll work it out eventually.
How could it be spot?
So a spot, if I spot something, that means that I've seen something, right? But also it's I see something or I notice something. But also if I spot something, that means a spot can be like a mole. It's like a little thing that we have on our skin, a spot. So this word fits in with all of these. Neil, we get it? Okay, let's go on to number 2.
Okay.
Let's hear from Lucky. Lucky, what do we think? Oh, you were muted just there.
Bear.
Bear. Okay, so Lucky, you are 100% right. Can you tell us why that is correct?
Tolerate, allow, carry, support are like bear. You hold something.
So yeah, so that's absolutely right. So to tolerate something or to allow something is we call it to bear it. If I bear you being mean to me, for example, that means I'm allowing you to be mean to me. But also, you can, if you're bearing something, that can be something that you're carrying. So you're carrying or supporting it. So I'm bearing all the weight of the world on my shoulders. I'm bearing this heavy burden. People talk sometimes about Jesus as having bared or having borne the cross. It's their cross to bear. So we use bear to mean all of these words: to tolerate, to allow, to carry, and support. Okay, guys, let's move on. Practice this because this will come up in your exam. So we're going to look at some really basic rules, everybody. And this, I know this is not the funnest bit of the class. To be honest, it's actually quite a boring bit of the class. But what I want to do is I just want to go over these just so we can look at them, because you'll have to practice them for homework later. So if it's got a CH on it at the end, you don't just put an S on the end. So these are when you know that you don't just put an S on the end. If it's got a CH, you've got to put an ES next. So church goes to churches, ES, rather than churches. And match goes to matches. Okay. SH has the same thing. You've got to put an ES. X has the same. You've got to put an ES. Now, this one is a bit of a weird one, guys. And there's a special rule which you guys can use to remember this one. I want you to repeat it after me. If it's got a Y on the end of the word, then we say shy Y changes to I when we're going to plurals. So family, one family. Whereas if we've got two families, shy Y changes to I, and it's family ES. Okay, here's another one. One curry, guys, is just one curry, right? C-U-R-R-Y. We all know how to spell that. But let's say shy Y changes to I. What if we have more than one curry? It's going to be curries. Yeah? All on board? We get it?
Yep.
Okay. Is everybody following?
Yes.
Yes, brilliant. Okay, I think we are all on board. Okay, one more, which is a pretty hard one, which is the LF rule, guys, which is when something ends with LF, right? Like elf, ELF, or shelf, SHELF. Then normally what we do is we change the F to a V. So we go from elf to elves. We go from half to halves, and it looks like this. So it looks a bit weird. So this is homework number 1. I've not written it down for you just yet because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I just forgot to put it at the end of the homework. So homework number 1, if you've got your homework diaries with you, I want you to get them out and start writing it down, is I want you to come up with one example of each one of these. So one example of a plural word which ends with CH, one example of one which ends with SH, one which ends with X, one which ends with Y, one which ends with LF, and one which ends with E. So my examples would be churches, rushes or wishes, foxes, families, elves, and axes. Okay, we on board?
Yep.
So here are your practices, guys. The first one is page 16 of the CGP verbal reasoning book. The second is page 11 of the CGP verbal reasoning book. And the third is page 2 of the CGP verbal reasoning book. But guys, there are some extra bits of homework which you need to do, which are not just in the book. So these are some links which I put on the chat here, or which I put on the slides. So educationquizzes.com, you can see there are 3 links which I want you guys to follow. They're really easy. All you got to do is to go onto the slide, which you guys have online on Hoonolly, and you just got to click on it, and it will take you through to the exercises, and then you can do them. So I know not everyone did all of their homework this week. I'm not going to tell you off for not doing your homework. Honestly, guys, I'm not here to be nasty or to tell you guys that you've been really naughty, because I'm not like a regular teacher, right? And I'm also not there, so I can't come over and tell you off. But you do need to do your homework. And if you don't do your homework, you just won't do as well when it comes to exam day. And I think that that's annoying because I think you'll feel disappointed with yourself for not working super hard. And also, you probably just won't feel so good because you want to work so hard. So just make sure you're doing your homework, because it will also mean that as we're going through these classes, every lesson, you feel that you're getting better and better and better. And stuff isn't too confusing. And we come to the end of the class and you're like, wow, I've smashed this. I completely understand it. Rather than maybe feeling a little bit like, oh, I still don't really know what's going on. So we've got to make sure to get that extra practice in, which is why I've given you these homeworks, guys. But you can obviously find them on the slides online.